Okay, finally, this is a poem I just wrote today.
I can't wait to have a ride in it.
This is called Waiting for Maintenance. Waiting for maintenance. I wait for my dealership to get done maintaining my car. An instantaneous $500 debt. Waiting for 4 hours, drinking free coffee and Coca-Cola. Writing notes for a talk, looking over my students' essays. One of the essays started, I hate others so goddamn much. I hate that I hate you. I hate myself for hating. It kept going in that vein without answering the question I asked. Obviously, someone who hated the assignment. Listen, dude, I hate reading your paper as much as you writing it. But for the sake of not wasting each other's time, can you at least pretend you're writing something that matters to you? After all, it's your words, not mine. So I can pretend you're the best essayist since Oscar Wilde and pretend to enjoy reading you. Wilde showed us that pretension is sometimes more important than truth. The many who beat their breasts for some raw, unvarnished truth, being upfront and honest about every goddamn thing, are actually full of shit, wearing just another mask of so-called truth. When truth never existed, and never will, except as a chemical reaction, an intense confession of love that lapses after a brief interlude, an eternal friendship broken over trifles, decades-long happy marriage ending in a messy divorce. Where's the truth in that? Of course, at this point, I'm supposed to tie all this up in a neat bow. But there are such moments in relationships, etc. No, there isn't. Motherfucker, there isn't. And I speak as someone who's never been abused as a child, never had a drug addiction, never experienced poverty, but enjoyed great and lasting relationships, including with peerless parents who embody the most successful 30-year-plus marriage he knows, who ain't a contrarian, nihilist, cynic, or whatever the fuck else. There's that line in Rilke where he's looking at his hand, which is disintegrating imperceptibly before his eyes. That's about right. And the only thing that keeps changing perceptibly are the masks we wear from infancy to old age, under which no skin or face exists. So Jimbo, next time you waste my motherfucking time with this bullshit of an essay whose conclusion is, I long to love you, to show you the truth, but you will not, cannot embrace me, for I am untouchable by your lack of value. Please cast off your chains, I hate you. I'm going to rip your uppity as shit mask and punch you in your non-existing face until you bleed some drops of fucking sense onto a piece of paper, so you'll take your verbal pretension more seriously, like it's the only thing you got, because it is. As the Gospel of John says, don't fuck with a word, or it'll fuck with you.
The Gospel of John said fuck.
In my translation.
Oh my. Next person on the list does have a big purple bus. He'll be having his dinner at his house Saturday night. It is Mr. Steve North.
All right, I'm going to start with a brief excerpt from Frederick Buechner's The Longing for Home. Woe to us indeed if we forget the homeless ones who have no vote, no power, nobody to lobby for them, and who might as well have no faces even. The way we try to avoid the troubling sight of them in the streets of the cities where they roam like stray cats. And as we listen each night to the news of what happened in our lives that day, woe to us if we forget our own homelessness. To be homeless the way people like you and me are apt to be homeless is to have homes all over the place, but not to be really at home in any of them. To be really at home is to be really at peace. And our lives are so intricately woven that there can be no real peace for any of us until there is peace for all of us.
Yeah.
When Gary and I were talking earlier, of course he's not here now, but I'm still pretty I am out of my tent city coma now, but I'm still there in a lot of ways. And I kind of got on him a little bit for having to go home and go night-night. One of the things that he was talking to me about earlier reminded me of this piece. It's one of my reflections. It's not a poem. It's one of my reflections from a time in the Dominican Republic about these little girls I ran into on the street there one day. And they were beautiful. This is called In Living Color. The exuberance of the young girls is infectious, commanding smiles from faces all too often imprisoned by cynicism and reputation-building deportment. As I watch them dance, an answer to a question I've been asking myself all week becomes clear. The question is, why do people who live in or near such sorrow and struggle do so with such expressive joy and energy? I lived near Holmes County, Ohio's Amish country for nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
Ohio's number one tourist attraction is, ironically enough, the world's largest Amish community. It seems odd that these relative ascetics would hold such a powerful attention from a society that left its simple life long ago. And yet many would assert this phenomenon's predictability. As U.S. culture has drifted, no sped, towards a more and more complex way of life, a pervasive longing nags at the soul of the nation. So we visit those who live the way we wish we could, and experience by vacation osmosis the tranquility to which many wish we could return. It's not uncommon to hear tourists say something like this: I think we would all be better off if we could go back to this way of life. In spite of that attraction, there has always been something that nags at me about Amish culture, something that would keep me from ever adopting that kind of life, no matter how much I might long for its simplicity. That something is the lack of color. Everything in Amish life is black and white and dark blue, and the reserved nature of their life, not the same as its simplicity, is in perfect keeping with the color scheme of their wardrobe. It's not that there's something inherently wrong with this, it's just that it's less appealing to me than a life that has more panache. Like these girls. These dancing, singing girls are not just dressed colorfully, they seem to live colorfully. Their joy and exuberance are reflections not of prosperity or ease of life, but of a zest for life and its adventures. I'm certain that these delightful girls will go home to very simple, maybe very poor surroundings. It's likely that they will eat beans and rice for supper, and that they will not have their own spacious room in which to lie down to sleep tonight. Watching these little ladies and listening to their songs makes me want to be like them in many ways. I would like to have their innocent joy in the simple things of life, things like songs and friends and laughter. I'd like to not worry so much about what I need to get done and what I don't have, and live in the moment more. In fact, the whole of this culture seems to live colorfully. One cannot escape the multi-hued landscape, buildings and homes, clothing and music. Stepping into Dominican life is like Dorothy twirling out of black and white Kansas and waking up in the Technicolor land of Oz. These people live a simple life, made so by socioeconomic conditions and other circumstances they can't control very well. But these things do not color their life. They're not living in black and white and dark blue hues of self-deprivation or self-pity. They want like we want, but the colors of their life are determined by their love of God and each other. I'm not kidding myself about their circumstances. Many of these people suffer under economic oppression and may never escape it, no matter what others may do on their behalf. I can't, we can't just fix it. But I and the rest of the world could learn some things from the Dominicans. No, we don't have to paint our houses purple or orange, and we don't have to throw all decorum to the wind. But I think it's possible to take a lesson from the dancing girls of San Pedro. To let go what cannot be changed at the moment, to step out of the black and white and dark blue world of self-deprivation and self-pity and step into the world of simple joys in which they seem to live. We could probably all take their cue and find great joy in doing life together in living color.
Yeah!